Hi all, this is Pratik from TechStop, and today in this video we'll be discussing about Logic Apps and we'll be integrating it with blob storage with Java Spring Boot. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, what is Logic Apps? Logic App is a cloud-based platform for creating and running automated workflows that integrate your apps, data, services, and systems. So it's basically a workflow service wherein we can create workflows which contains a sequence of steps which we have to execute on a particular type of a trigger. You say for example you have to schedule and send email notifications using Office 365 when a specific event happens. For example, a new file is uploaded. So it's like whenever a new file is uploaded, a specific event happens, and then on that event you will have to execute certain steps, and one of the step would be to send the email notification using the Office 365. So these kind of scenarios are use cases we can implement using the Logic Apps. So this is the flow diagram, which like this is the uh, sample application which we will be developing, uh, wherein we'll have a file being uploaded to a blob storage, and we'll have a logic app configured, wherein we'll have a trigger on which say whenever a file is uploaded on the blob storage, it will trigger your logic app and logic app workflow, and which in turn will contain what all blob files have been uploaded, and information about that file, and that will invoke a REST API been running in the app service, and that application will be developed using Spring Boot, and it will expose an endpoint which will be called by this logic app, and that request will contain what file means it contains the file name which is being uploaded to the blob storage. So which in turn, so this REST API which is exposed, which in turn will fetch the blob storage, the blob from this blob storage, and will process it. Okay, so this integration will be implementing in this video. So these are the steps which we'll be implementing, which is first we'll create a storage account for storing the blobs, and then we'll be creating a Spring Boot application. So in this case we have already created it, and have implemented an endpoint which once invoked will be fetching the blob from the blob storage, and will be processing it, and we'll also create a container registry in Azure for storing the application Docker image. So this application which we will create, that its image Docker image will be uploaded to the container registry, and then we'll be having we'll get an access token for ACL and update the zip plugin configuration. So what the zip plugin is, so it helps us create the Spring Boot application Docker image and upload it into the container registry. So some configuration is required in Gradle build.gradle file, so that it does the uploading of the image successfully, and then we'll upload the image to the ACR, and next step is to create the web app in Azure and deploy the application using the image from the container registry. And lastly, we'll create the logic app instance, which and we'll configure a workflow for polling the blob storage and invoking the REST endpoint. Okay, so this is the theory, and these are the steps which we will be executing in this entire video. So let's switch to the application first, the Spring Boot application. So this is the Spring Boot application which I've created, which is storage account consumer, and it has a controller which exposes a post endpoint with the URI API v1 storage blob, and which takes in a request parameter named blob name. It will be the name of the file which gets uploaded to the storage account. So then it will invoke a process blob file function in the blob storage service, and which this so what this service function does is, so it creates a client taking in the connection string of the container, connection string to the storage account, and it will then connect to a particular container. Say I've named it, I'll be naming it like this, and then it will fetch that particular file, and file when the contents of that file will then be copied into download file.txt. That will be saved in the same project path. So this is for demonstration purpose, like it is not doing much of the processing of the blob, but for demonstration purpose only, what I've done is I've just copied the contents of the file into this downloaded file.txt. Okay, this application will be uploading, will be creating the image of, and will be uploading that image to the container registry. And the zip plugin which I was talking about is, so we have this zip plugin configuration, and we get the plugin, the version of the plugin, so it is being offered by Google. And so this configuration we have done, so it is the base image which we are taking, and from that image we'll create an image of this application, and we'll be uploading this as an image which is named storage ACC consumer 1.0.0 to this ACR, uh, to this container registry. So I'll be naming that container registry with this name, the container registry, and this auth information which we have provided, this is the access token which is used to log in into the ACR, so that the zip plugin can authenticate itself, so that it can successfully upload this created image to the ACR. Okay, so this is the only configuration which you require to create the image and upload it into the ACR. Okay, so let's jump to the Azure portal to create the storage account and ACR first, so that we can upload the image to the container registry. So first we'll create the storage account. So we'll go to we'll search for storage account. Okay. So I'll name it as storage account ACC01. It's already taken. I'll name it as the storage account ACC01. Okay, and I'll keep it as locally redundant and move to advanced. Okay, we'll keep the every other configuration default configuration only, and we'll just review and create it. Okay, the validation is passed, so we'll create it now. So let's wait for this to be created. I'll pause the video. So the storage account has been created. So let's first copy its connection string. Okay. We'll copy it into the service class. Okay, and we'll then create a container with this name. Okay, we'll make it publicly available. Okay, so the container has been created now. Then we'll create a container registry. So we'll create a new resource group here. Pratik. And in the registry name, I'll take this one only. Okay. And I'll select this queue as basic and keep everything default. So validation is passed, so we'll then create it. So it will take some time. I'll pause the video. So the container registry has been created. Okay. So one thing we'll do is we'll enable the admin user. This is for the web app, the app service. It will be used by the app service. So we'll enable it for now, and it will be used later on. Okay. And so we have created the container registry. So and also we'll try to get the access token. So this access token is being used so that the image can be properly uploaded. Let's jump to the terminal. So I've logged in into the Azure already. So let's get the token first. Okay. So this was the command AZACR login -n, which is and then the container registry name, and then hyphen expose token. So we'll copy this token, okay, and we'll paste it here. Okay. So and then we'll rebuild the Gradle. Okay. So we have done the required configuration for this application. We have changed the token and also the connection string for the storage account, and we'll now create an image and upload it into the ACR. Okay, so we'll go to Gradle and we'll click on Jib option. So it will create an image and we'll upload it into the ACR. Let's wait for it to complete the task. I'll pause the video till then. So if you see here, it has successfully uploaded the image to this registry. So let's check that. So under the repositories, so if you see here, we have this image uploaded. So we have a repository name with the storage account ACC, storage account consumer 1.0.0, and we have this latest image. Okay, so we have successfully uploaded the image to the ACR. Now we'll try to create a web app wherein we'll upload this, we'll run this application using the image uploaded to the ACR. So we'll select app services, we'll create a new app. Okay, so the resource group will be same Pratik, and the web app name I'll keep it as storage ACC app. Okay, so we'll select Docker container Linux and let it select the region. It's taking a bit of a time. Okay, central US will keep it as it is. We'll create a plan. Okay, we will change this size. We don't need this premium size. So let's select dev test and just the F1. Okay, so we just need this kind of a hardware, only 1 GB memory, because we'll not be running any heavy application inside it. So we'll apply this, and we'll keep it disabled, and then next Docker. We'll keep it default, and we'll just review and create. Sorry, I think one thing which I missed is selecting the so image source was Azure Container Registry. So this was the registry, and the image is this one. Yeah, latest. This is the image which we'll be using to create the application. Then we'll review and create. Okay, so let's create it now. I'll pause the video till it gets created. So we now have the app service up and running. Okay, so one more setting which we have to do is we have to set one application setting under configuration to expose the web port 8080. New application setting, which is websites underscore port, and we'll set it as its value as 8080, and click on OK. Okay, then save the settings. Without this, the application wouldn't be available. Then going back to the overview page, and we'll copy the URL. Let it come. I think it should be in this section. Yeah. So copy this part. Okay. Let's save it in the notepad. Okay. And then so now one last thing which is remaining is creating the logic app. So let's create a logic app. Select the same resource group. Let's name it as the logic app 1. Okay, and we'll select the workflow and keep everything default. Okay, we'll just review and create. So let's create it now. So I'll pause the video till the time deployment happens. So we have the logic app up and running now. So okay, so we'll move to workflows. Okay, and we'll create a new workflow for our integration. I think it's taking a bit of a time to load. Okay, I think status is unknown. So let's wait for it to come up. So now it has been running, it has come into running state. So let's create a workflow now. So we'll create on workflow, add a new workflow. Just a minute. So yeah, we'll name it as okay. So we'll select it as stateless. Okay. So let's open it. We'll open it in the designer. Okay. So first thing what we have to select is the trigger. So trigger will be like whenever a file is uploaded to the Azure Blob Storage, this workflow should get triggered. So we'll select Azure Blob. So when a blob, we'll select this option when a blob is added or modified. Okay. So we have to name this connection string. Storage ACC connection. Okay. We'll copy the connection string from the storage account. Let's open it. So this is a storage account, and from the access keys, we'll copy the connection string and paste it here. Okay, and then yeah, let me check. Hi. So one correction which I have done is, so I deleted the previous logic app, and so earlier I selected the standard one, but I need to select the consumption because that is the pay only for as much as we use this logic app. Okay, so I'll use the consumption one and then review and create. Okay, and just create it. So let's wait for this deployment to happen. So this logic app is ready. So when I switch to the resource, it is now opening the designer where we will be designing our workflow. Okay, so we'll select the blank logic app, and first we'll choose the trigger, like on what trigger this workflow will run, what type of trigger this workflow will run. I think there's some issue with this. Let me check. So now we have opened this chosen operation. So let me search for blob. So we'll select Azure Blob Storage, and we'll select this when blob is added or modified. Connection name will be storage ACC on, and the authentication type will be access key, which we'll be using. We'll copy the access key from here. Okay, and sorry, the storage account name is here. So storage account name, that will be this one. So let's create it. Okay, so we have this trigger now configured. So this account name will select it as this one, and the container name would be the container which we have created, and the number of blobs it will return once any blob or blob is added or modified. We will set it to as 1, and polling period would be say 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds it will poll the blob storage account. Okay, so we'll keep it as it is. Now we'll add a new action here. So on the blob upload event will trigger the will call the REST API which we have deployed in the app service. Okay, so let's copy the endpoint from the app. Okay, so this one I've copied here, and let's search for HTTP. So I'll select this HTTP, and the method will be post, and the UI would be this one. Okay, and I'll select the list of file display names. Okay, and also I'll be adding the URI part from this application, URI part of the REST API which it has exposed. Okay, I'll add it to this thing. Okay, so now it will add the list of files to this endpoint. Okay, and I think this is it. So the configuration is done. Let's save it. Okay, go back to the logic app. Okay, so this is the run history. Here we'll see whenever the workflow is being triggered, we'll see the instance of that workflow in the running state. So let's upload a file on the storage account. Okay, under the containers, we'll upload a file. Okay, so we have uploaded a file here. Okay, let's see if it has triggered the logic app. So after 5 seconds, every 5 seconds it would have polled the storage account container. Let's refresh it. Okay, so we'll see here an instance is running. Let's click on it. So it will show you the what all steps have been triggered, and so if you see this has been successfully triggered, and now it has moved to the next step, which is calling the REST API. Okay, let's wait for this to complete. Okay, it has failed, so it says it has not found it. Let's see what's the error. Okay, so it has used this as an endpoint. So the file name is correct, but I think it has not added as the query parameter. So let's correct the endpoint first. We'll go back to the Logic App Designer, click on HTTP, and we'll add a query parameter name, blob name, because that is what it is being expected by the REST API. Okay, let's save it. Okay, and we'll try it again. Let's delete it and re-upload it. Okay, I'll upload it again. It has been uploaded, so let's see if it has triggered the Logic app again. So this instance has failed. Let's refresh it. Let's refresh it again. I think it will take time to hold. Yeah, now it has started a new instance. Okay, this time it has successfully completed the entire flow. If you see here, all has been ticked. So if you open this HTTP request, so this endpoint has been triggered with this file name, and what was the output? The 200 status code and a body which has been returned, which says block file was successfully. Okay, so the REST API has been called successfully through the Logic app. Okay, so this was it from this video. So we have successfully integrated Logic app with the storage account, and we have triggered an application which is running on the app service, a Spring Boot application. Okay, so I'll be uploading the Spring Boot application to the Git repository, and also this PDF file, and this presentation is a PDF file, so you can go through it and also the video, and let me know in the comment section if you have any queries. I'll be coming up with the new videos soon, so till then, bye.